All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. My name is Omar Ansari. I'm from Afghanistan, and I work with the APNIC Foundation in Brisbane. As you all know, in our evolving digital age, the importance of diversity has never been more crucial. This extends beyond our day-to-day lives, reaching into the very core of the internet technology. A diverse workforce in the internet industry doesn't just benefit businesses, it enriches every aspect of life, driving innovation and inclusivity. Research consistently underscores one fact: diverse technical teams are the powerhouse. They are not content with just the basics. They discuss, question, and challenge. This dynamic leads to superior technical outcomes, pushing boundaries, and setting higher standards in the world of internet. The session titled Investing in Professional Development for a Diverse Workforce in APAC, Challenges and Opportunities is organized by APNIC Foundation, which is a beacon of hope in our journey towards greater diversity in the internet industry. The foundation has embarked on a mission to develop skills and capacities among internet industry professionals. The foundation projects stand out, especially those tailored for women, gender diverse engineers, and engineers hailing from regions that have witnessed conflict. These targeted efforts in places like Southeast Asia and Afghanistan pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive future in the industry. In order to introduce you to our projects more, I'd like to use a few slides if they could be put on screen, please. Can I have the slides on screen, please? They are? Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So next slide, please. You all know about the APNIC, the Asia Pacific Network Information Center. It's a neutral, independent, not-for-profit, membership-based organization established in 1993. It's managing internet numbers, resources, IPv4, IPv6, and ASNs. It's serving the Asia Pacific region. The APNIC performs various activities as part of its commitment to a global, open, stable, and secure internet that serves the entire Asia Pacific region. This includes helping to build essential technical skills across the region. Okay. Supporting the internet infrastructure development, producing insightful research, and participating actively in the multi-stakeholder model of the Internet Corporation and the governance. This is, I think, the last one. Am I doing it the wrong way, I guess? Okay. So this is Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Could you please help me? I'll ask Dave for his assistance because it's behind me. I can please. Thank you so much. All right. So the APNIC Foundation works very closely with the APNIC that provides support to the community across the Asia Pacific with a vision to have a global. It shares the vision with APNIC to support a global, open, stable, and secure internet that is affordable and accessible to the entire Asia Pacific region. The Foundation's mission is to increase investment in internet development in the Asia Pacific region through education, training, human capacity building, community development, research, and activities. Now, how the Foundation works, it has three major programs on infrastructure, inclusion in knowledge. It provides technical training and assistance, community development, grants and awards, internet infrastructure support, and research in collaboration. It supports network engineers, security professionals, and people who work in the internet governance industry or sector. That is to support the global, open, affordable, accessible, and stable and secure internet in the region. This is our team that you can see in the back row, Duncan, myself, Indika, and in the first row, Dave, Marco, Sylvia, Kathleen, Alicia, and David. And we're missing one awesome team member who will be joining, who was not attending that event. Our programs on the infrastructure, the Foundation has been supporting projects across Asia Pacific on network deployment, operation, network monitoring and management, and security and privacy. Various inclusion projects around inclusion to ensure availability of connectivity, internet access, affordability, accessibility, and diversity. Projects related to knowledge building across the region includes professional development, new information and training resources, translation of the knowledge resource into Asia Pacific languages. Two of the projects that we're showcasing today are the Afghanistan Project and the Switch Project. The technical training in mentoring support for the internet professionals in Afghanistan is the Afghanistan Project that I just spoke about. The purpose of this project is to enhance information, technical knowledge in local and regional engagement of the Afghan technical community. The project was launched early 2022. The highlights of 2023 includes 32 Afghan professionals, internet professionals. They're under our training. They have selected or enrolled 206 courses and learning activities that are approved by the APNIC Foundation. 18% of these courses have already been completed. And the trainees received 44 training in professional certifications. 88% of the participants reported progress on monthly basis, and the dashboards developed for the participants so they can report, and in order for us to monitor the progress of our participants. Our other project that's bigger is called Switch. This is a gender in diversity project. It supports women in gender diverse technical staff across Southeast Asia by building their technical capacity. The highlights of the project includes, from this year, 176 participants were enrolled into the project. 162 of these were women, 14 gender diverse engineers from countries of Cambodia, Laos, Timor-Leste, Thailand, the Philippines, in Vietnam. 49% of the trainings have been completed, the courses. 30% of the participants have been graduated 3 months ahead of their schedule. In 24% of the participants reported active community engagement. You can go online and see more about the APNIC Foundation, the website, and other social media. Links are available here. So back to our session. The session, as I said earlier, is about diversity in the region, especially in the technical, who work in the industry supporting internet development. So this session relates with the APrIGF's Team of the Year, exploring the Asia Pacific region's readiness for the next phase of internet. But we believe we cannot discuss readiness without addressing the clear shortage of technical professionals in the APAC region. So through our discussion today, we aim to spotlight the challenges and opportunities inherent in this crucial effort. The session structure would include the 3 panel speakers. Lima Madom from Afghanistan, who's also a participant at our Afghanistan project. Then we have Lima will be joining us remotely. We have Evelyn from Vietnam, who's a participant at our Switch project, who's here with us and works with the CoreLogic Australia. And then we have Boala from Laos, who worked in Laos in the past, but recently moved to Australia to and is a student at the Greenwich English College. She's a participant at the Switch project. So the structure would be that as a first round, I will ask a set of 3 questions from each participant, and then they will have 2 to 3 minutes to talk about, their experiences as participants of the APNIC Foundation sponsored projects for training, and also as professionals working actively in a diverse internet industry. Then we will open floor for questions, but my request from all of you would be to make this session as participatory as possible. Please feel free to ask questions from our participants. Share your thoughts and ideas that we can note down and perhaps use in our future programming. It could be related to your suggestions to the wider community, other organizations who are supporting the internet governance across the region. So they can take note of these and perhaps included in the future programming. So coming to our speakers, I will first go to Evelyn. who's a data analyst at the CoreLogic Australia. How have you integrated, Evelyn, the technical skills that you've learned through the Switch project into your work, your job, and what you would your experience as well?
Thank you, Omar, for the introductions. And good morning, everyone. My name is Evelyn. It's a pleasure to have you here with us today. So as Omar has said before, I'm currently a data analyst in CoreLogic Australia. So it's a consulting technology company providing real estate data to the clients. And about APNIC foundations, I am fortunate enough to become a participant in one of their projects, which is Switch project. So it provides funding for women in technologies in order to pursue self-learnings. Because my background is not too, relevant to the current positions that I'm working right now, there's a lot of technical skills as well as professional skills in order to pursue the positions. So yes, I have been using, take advantage of the fundings in order to pursue some of the skills, which is, firstly is Tableau. So Tableau is kind of like a business intelligence dashboards for people in order to create and to kind of like, propose some of the most important metrics to the stakeholders. Because working as a data analyst, I need to provide dashboards for clients and for, not only external ones, but also internal teams in order to track some of their relevant metrics. And the other one is Python. So Python is like a very powerful programming language. So I've been using it in order to manipulate data, or when there is, like some new database or a data set that is new to me, Python helps me to like get an overview of what's looking and doing some exploratory data analysis on it. The other one is Snowflake. So currently Snowflake, it's a data cloud service. And I believe it's already been implemented in many companies in the US, but it's still, for me, it's still relatively new in Australia. So getting ahead of it, like getting to know what the tools being used for, it's really advantageous for me. So yes, that's from my personal experience.
Thank you, Evelyn. So Lima, who's online. Okay, I see her. Lima, you're studying at Geneva University. You worked in Afghanistan, but then you moved to Geneva to work with the IGF Secretariat as an intern or fellow. How do you find, and now you're participating, in the Afghanistan Project, taking various technical, trainings. So how, if you can tell us about your experience, how the learning has been so far, and how do you apply the technical skills that you gain through the project and your university, perhaps. If you could talk about, also the differences between Afghanistan and where you are now.
Hello, I don't know if you can hear me, but good morning. My name is Lima Madomi. I am from Afghanistan, as Omar said. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, coming back to the question. So the courses that I have been taking through APNIC Foundation helped me a lot, because I did my bachelor degree in computer science, but then currently I'm doing my master in intelligent cities and territories, which is complete. There is a gap, there is a difference between the part that I did my bachelor in and the part that I'm doing my master. So there is a little bit of difference between both. Yes, of course, they are related in some terms, but because I have been focused so much on data and databases, and then I moved to another session, it has been it was very challenging. And fortunately, by taking some of the courses that I have been having, so I was able to take some of the courses that were required and that were helpful for me to actually solve some of my problems in terms of my university projects. So, for example, there were some of the programming language, for example, R. Programming language was one of the requirements. I have so many classes in this programming language, but when I was in Afghanistan, and also, for example, all during my career, I have never worked with this specific programming language. So I was able to take some extra courses online through the opportunity that I have been provided to actually improve my skills and to be able to participate and to be more active in my master and to achieve my goals. Coming to the part about comparing the education in general, the technical education in Afghanistan and Switzerland, actually there is a huge difference between the general education of Afghanistan, especially the technical side in Switzerland and in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, we are more class-based. We are more based on what the teacher is saying and how it's taught and how we are like learning what is taught. But in Switzerland, it's more on project-based. You are given projects, you are working, you are researching, you are figuring it out, and you are finding. So for me, this transition from one education system to another education system have been very challenging, and it was not easy to really tackle this this challenge. But fortunately, with the courses and everything that I was able to take with the APNIC Foundation project and other help that I was getting, it got easier, and I was able to finish the first year of my university. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a very interesting story, learning, two different educational systems in, as I remember, in countries in, Afghanistan, in that part of the world, they teach you how to memorize things. And in countries, perhaps in Europe, the system might be teaching you how to analyze things. So I have been witnessing that, and many young people from Afghanistan who moved to those countries, when I was speaking with them, so it was very difficult for them, to become good writers, write essays in all these. Perhaps it would be important for the technical organizations who are supporting education in these areas to look into aspects like that and help the engineers to become, good, develop the analytical skills. Thank you, Lima, for sharing that with us. So now I have our third panelist, who's also part of the Foundation Switch project, Boala. You have an interesting story. You were a professional working in Laos, right? In the industry, and then you suddenly quit and you came to Australia. Why was that?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me today. Hope everyone understand what I'm saying. I'm here, Sydney, to Brisbane, Sydney, yes. I'm here, Australia, to improve my English. Yes. Of course, it's a big decision to me. It's sharing my life, sharing everything. It's to improve myself, to develop more. My previous job, I worked as network admin, and also IT support. Yes, it is a cool position. Other side of my department, right? As is a challenge and opportunity, something like that. I did. So I have to improve myself more. Because in my team, I'm only one woman in my team. And I have to be like, if you are saying knowledge, then it's my boss or something. So, technical foundation that's giving me a chance to learn, to do something different, to express myself, to share, confident to share an idea. Confident to share an idea with my team. And I'm comfortable to share, and I feel like I'll be the part of my team or something like that. So it's really hard. If someone gives you an opportunity to do, I want to do, but everything in I want to develop, I want to improve myself, or in internet, it's English. And it will take time for me to do. If I don't understand what they are trying to get it. So I decided to quit my job and came here to study English to improve myself. So today I'm here. And so thank you so much. It's a really, really first time in front of people that I speak. Is something wrong, or I make some mistake, or you misunderstand what I'm saying, or I am talking, I apologize for that. Thank you so much.
It's very lovely to have you, Boala. You did first time speaking. When I was first time speaking, it was really, really difficult. But I didn't feel like you were first time speaker. I thought you were like speaking for ages now. Thank you very much. This round of insights were very informative. We learned about the Switch project and the experiences our two participants had from their participation, and also learned about Afghanistan and the female engineers there. Lima, I'd like to dive a little deeper into, the situation of Afghanistan, not the overall situation, but we are interested, and many people, especially nowadays, are interested to learn about the challenges that are faced by Afghan women engineers. I know you're abroad, but still, I mean, if you could share your insight with us. And especially considering the current political situation in the region. And also if you might be aware of how the other women in Afghanistan, especially the other women who are participating in the project with you and are based in Afghanistan.
Thank you. Actually, talking about this topic is very difficult for me, being a woman who is having the possibility to continue her education while knowing that my fellow women in Afghanistan are not having the same opportunity as I have at the moment that I am studying here is actually really sad, and it is really difficult for me. when even coming to the topic of Afghan women, Afghan engineer women in general in Afghanistan, it has been always very difficult for women to be in this area, in any engineering areas in Afghanistan. When I was in Afghanistan back then, also when the situation was much better than what it is for women. Even at that time, it was very difficult for the women. So when I'm trying to compare it, that at the time when we used to compare, we used to say, oh, we have a lot of problems. At that time, like that's now even better than the current situation that is happening. So I cannot even imagine what's at the moment happening. I know that a lot is happening. They are not even allowed to continue their education and then go ahead and do what all the women around the world are doing at the moment. They are studying, they are participating in different events, and they are trying to be they are trying to be more participative and have the same opportunity that a man could have. But in Afghanistan, the women are not having the same opportunities that a man could have. Of course, there are certain online projects that are happening, and they are trying to help those women. But still, it's not the same. Being especially in engineering areas, like if I give the example of computer science, we always need labs. We always need the group participation to actually reach those goals, to have a good understanding of, even if we are talking about a coding language, it's always better to be in groups and studying and trying to improve their skill. But it's not the same thing. Even access to internet is a challenging thing. They need someone to help them with that. That's very sad, and that's it's a big challenge. It's a big difficulty for the women of Afghanistan. They actually need a lot more support, a lot more things, so that they could improve their skills, and or if maybe something change and they could have the opportunity to also continue their education and have the opportunities that they deserve and they want. Yes, talking about the project that you said, I'm not actually in contact with a lot of women that are still in Afghanistan and are working, because it's very difficult. They don't share a lot with other women. They don't like to be in contact because of their own safety. But from what I gather from some of my family members that are still in Afghanistan, it's very heart-wrenching, especially for them, that they cannot even provide for their families or do anything that they want.
Thank you, Lima. Let's go back to Boala. Boala has a similarity with Lima. They both were working professionals, and then they started, studying. So, Boala, what challenges do you see in balancing personal learning with professional responsibilities? Do you still work somewhere, or is it that you're a full-time student now? And when you go back, will you continue learning in your field? And how do you think you would balance this?
Thank you for your question. Balance. Before, I don't know how to balance my time. So I have to study, full-time study English. And I also work because I came here myself. I have to work for a living. And I think everyone knows this. And to balance this, I just a time management. You know, just how to say, just build yourself. What you want to do, what you want. I focus on studying English, yes, and also work. And I continue studying like some skill. That's the APNIC Foundation that's giving me to like some platform. I include this to my daily life. Not much, just only 15 minutes per day, every day. Just something like that. I try to do like this to improve myself. It's a challenging that I felt because here in go back in my country, I have to more rule for more responsibility to do as my job, and social life in Laos is a problem too. We have to, as the woman, you have to do everything, even in your job, right? Some more detail or something is take time. And you don't have time to improve yourself at all in my work. Study and work and improve yourself. It's a hard, it's a challenging for me. But I think you can do it by time management. You know what you do. Improve yourself every time for me. And for me, learning is a take time for me. Everything is take time, but I just start studying, just starting, right? Something like this. Thank you. That's okay.
Thank you, Boala. Evelyn, Lima also spoke about this, and there is a general discussion. Women especially, from time to time, raise this, that engineering is not for women, and it's really hard for women to, find, to position themselves in the industry. How it's been for you? Personally, what's your observation? Did you face any challenges, considering your experience of working in both Vietnam and Australia? Any particular challenges, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Thank you, Omar, for your questions, and thank you, Lima and Boala, for your sharings. Actually, this part, it's out of my script. I prepared this because I'm pretty inexperienced talking to, like a really group of people. So I think luckily I haven't faced any challenges working in the data world. Probably because I think because I'm lucky, and also like because I've only been working as a data analyst for 3 years, so still a very low number. But anyway, what I have observed in Vietnam is that, so my previous working company, I've been working in a team of like 11, 12 people, and only me and one of my fellow workers are females, and the others are all males. And I believe that even though this is not the case for all, like data team in Vietnam, but it's partly because, like when you choose your university in Vietnam, it's a very big decisions, and sometimes it's being influenced by your parents, by your friends, or by your teachers. And somehow I think that I'm not saying that everyone is like that, but it's previous generation mindset in Vietnam that they would encourage females to do other things rather than computer science or like engineers. So I think that's partly the reason why women working in technologies or in data are still a pretty low number compared to males in Vietnam. However, it's increasing right now, as I'm seeing. The other thing is that some companies in Vietnam, they still, that when they're screening CVs for interviews, they still looking at what your genders are. And if you're at the age, for example, like females, if they're at the age that they will be, be pregnant in like 1 to 2 years, they actually do consider that. And well, even though it's something, I think it's kind of like, it's legit to take that into considerations. However, it is still kind of like a disadvantage to women. For me, my experience in Australia is pretty different. So I'm working in a team that we extracting data to clients based on the requests. And my team right now, we have an equal numbers of like females and males. I'm not saying that they choose it because of they interview and choose any candidates just based on their gender, but it's because of their ability to do the work. And also when assigning tasks to people in the team, they look at your time capacity and also your ability and your experience in order to do the job rather than if you are, females or males. And also because of my irrelevant backgrounds to the job, I do ask a lot in my workplace, and sometimes I feel embarrassed about that. But anyway, please do ask. And when I ask my coworkers, all of them, they treat me very respectfully, and nobody has ever looked down on me, because I pose some stupid questions or things like that. So yeah, I do appreciate that. And also just one last thing is that even though I think that somehow right now men's are a little bit, forward in the technical skills compared to women. I'm not saying that it will be the same like that in the future, but in some of my teams in the company, so there are still some females who are team leaders in data scientist teams, in data's team. And yeah, I hope that it will be the future for, data work. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. That's very very nice to know, and your perspective. One of the things in Afghanistan, for example, or maybe the wider region, is that women have limited access to learning in technical skills. For example, men are able to attend events in the country in different provinces. They could meet their peers outside the school environment, but women don't enjoy that kind of a privilege. So it becomes very the opportunities become very limited for women, and they cannot traveling abroad, like attending IGFs like this and other events. So there is a need to look into that and to see what could be done to solve those problems. I have more questions, but I'm very interested to open the floor and see what everyone who has been listening to your good interventions and the insights, what they think. They might have some questions for you. So let's open it up and have a discussion, on the issues of diversity in Asia Pacific, especially in the technical, the internet industry. So do you have any questions? Please raise your hand. Okay, so.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, my name is Elanto from Combine NGO in Indonesia. my question is, what about the vocational education program in your countries, for example? Do you agree that the vocational education program can have a potential to make the opportunity for the woman or for the gender diverse to get the opportunity to learn about the ICT or something like that? Because in, you know, vocational education program usually as a formal education program. So is it affordable to join the vocational education program in your country, or is still difficult to access it? Thank you. You know, maybe all of it.
All right. So Evelyn, the question is about technical vocational training. How does that help?
Thank you for your questions. Can I confirm again, is that you're asking more about like professional educations? Vocational. Okay. I think I'm more relevant to your questions because, you know, like I'm not really trained in tech skills or any data skills during my bachelor degree because I study something else. So I think that many people are having the same problems like me like now, because when they graduate from university, they just found out that, oh, I don't really like what I study. And I actually want to work into data and, you know, tech world. And it's becoming, you know, it's already happening right now. I think it's been 5 years. So what I believe is that people are trying to do some online learnings, such as on LinkedIn or on Coursera, because those are, as first, some of the courses on there are free. So you can actually access to lots of like, you know, resources online in order to learn the skills. Second thing is that on social medias, there are, you know, like data groups that people, like HR people, they come in there and they ask for like posing, how to say, like, I'm looking for people with these specific skills. So for me, if I'm a new person wanting to learn and become a data analyst, I can looking at those criteria in order to know, okay, I need to learn this. So that's something that I have, you know, from my experience. And also people are doing side projects. So it's a very important things to put onto your resume if you haven't got any experience at all, because the projects are the, you know, like the best proof that, okay, you can do this kind of job. And to be specific, let's say if you want to become like a software engineer, if you can, you know, code just a small games, then people can see that, okay, you have the specific skills, you know, this kind of libraries in Python or stuff in order to create that games. It's something very advantageous to people without those projects. I hope it's answered your questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn. I thought this session was until 12 o'clock. Sorry? Yeah, there is a remote question. Okay. Would you like to read it? Okay.
I'll read it. Okay. There's one question from a remote participant, Namka Gangpo. The question is, what is your opinion about the unequal access to education and training, usually in developing countries? It wasn't specified to me.
Right. So I'd request Lima to answer that question. Lima, are you still there?
Yes, I am. So if I understand correctly, I can see it here. I think it's about the unequal education in the developing countries. Yeah. So in my opinion, that's a major problem, because the unequal education in the developing country is becoming more and more a challenge for a lot of women that are trying to have a better education. But on the other hand, yes, there are a lot of challenges, but for past few years, there has been a lot of work has been done to actually reduce these problems and to give more opportunities to women. For example, in most of the developing countries, there is much more opportunities for women if they are in a, for example, in a technical environment. They are having much more opportunities compared to men. I'm saying this based on my personal experience, because I have been born in I was born in a developing country, and I grew up in that developing country with a lot of challenges. It was very difficult for me personally also to study and to have the education, like the same opportunity, not opportunities, but also the same access to education as a man. But but then I had a lot more opportunities. If I was trying to apply for a job, or for example, for any education programs, there were some of these programs that were specific to women, and I could apply and I could be accepted. There were much more funding and opportunities for women compared to men. But yes, there was then the problem of accessibility, because there was not a lot of women that were having the access, and they were not allowed in a way to have the education. So in my opinion, that not having equal access is a problem, but it's also bringing a lot of opportunities for women who, in those difficult situations, are trying to improve trying to have the education that they want. So yes, it has the problem of accessing and not having the equality of the education, but it's giving the opportunities to women to have like more better access to certain things that a man could not, I think.
Thank you, Lima. I would request 5 more minutes, if that's possible. 3 more minutes, okay. So unfortunately, we cannot take many questions. I made a mistake. I thought it was until 12 o'clock, but we have to wrap it up 10 minutes earlier. I will, but we are available. The speakers in Lima perhaps can remotely join us at some future sessions. We're available here and happy to discuss with you. I just, ask our speakers to tweet their final words about what do you think the solution is to the challenges that you have discussed. Tweet it. So it's going to be 140 characters still. They've changed it to X. So yeah, very, very brief. What is the solution in your view? We'll start with Evelyn, perhaps. What do you need from the community, the internet community, to help people like you to address some of the challenges that you're facing?
Can I confirm, is that it's going to be the perspective from the women themselves or from the community to the women?
What do you need the community?
I think open-minded. So it is because, sometimes it's not about the lack of resources in order for women to, be better in data or technology world, but sometimes it's about the perspectives, like the thoughts of someone else on you, like the tax. It's making hard for women to be in the tech world. So yeah, that's what I think.
For me, it's an opportunity. Yes, and give me some training, and I will get really to learn, to overcome everything. And it's a community like a, how to say, if I am comfortable to engage with the community, I feel better and confidence. I feel confident to learn and to how to say, to create, to get an idea to share with you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Lima. I already have your answer and your earlier response. So be open-minded and be more collaborative. These were two very important discussions and takeaways from our speakers. But obviously, the diversity is a catalyst. The challenges remain. We have to work together and very closer to address these challenges. There is a hope through collaboration, between various stakeholders involved. The APrIGF's role is very important in taking these discussions forward and making it more possible for the gender in the diverse engineers, so they can come and share their experiences and challenges and way forward. I'd like to conclude our session with an Afghan proverb that says, "Payogul napasaleki," meaning not from a lone flower does spring rise. So we have to work together. We need more flowers in our garden to make this garden more beautiful. So with your support, we'll be able to achieve that. Thank you very much for participating. And I look forward to discussing this with you in a break.
Recording stopped.
Hello, everyone. Up next, we have in the same room starting at 12 local time, policy development on generative AI based on biometrics and weaponizing information bubbles. See you back here in 4 minutes.